Hey, for real, man. Well, leave. Man, somebody come get their home girl, man. What wrong with her? Somebody come get their bitch. Huh?
You heard me.
What you said?
Why you up there trying to front for them? I cracked your window.
This not my car.
I don't give a fuck who car it is.
It ain't in my name.
You driving it, bitch. So you responsible.
I'm taking it back today.
I don't give a fuck.
It's a rental.
I don't care.
Move.
I'm finna take your tag.
Y'all look at the stupid bitches. Y'all, oh my God, boy, this shit is funny as fuck. I'm finna pull back up. I'm gonna back it back. She gonna try to run me off the road, man. Let me pull back up. She got a 211, y'all. But y'all see the shit I gotta go through? She's like, You smoke blacks now? Losing yourself. You a clown. You a clown. Look at her. Look, she done hurt herself, y'all. Look at her, dumbass. No. That bitch got a black and mild behind her ear. No, she losing herself. Baby mama. Why you doing all that?
I want to talk to you.
Where my child at? Can we go take the DNA test today?
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Oh.
Why would you do that shit? You ain't want to take it anyway. You ain't want to take it anyway.
She play too much, man. Hey, look though. Boy, I'm so tired of this bitch. Well, y'all do not understand, boy. I wish I never dealt with her, boy, ever again in my life. I had to bag back up. But y'all going in on these comments. Look. The dumb bitch done cut herself, y'all. Look at her. Baby mama. Baby mama, I'm tired of you. You doing things that a child will do. I'ma pull up. I'll run your ass over. I'll run your dumb ass over, bitch. I had to pull off. This bitch crazy. But god damn, boy, y'all could have told me. Oh, what the fuck? Skirt! Out of there, gone. Man, I gotta go high, y'all. She know all my spots. Bitch pulling up all the spots. All kind of shit, man. What the fuck really going on? Somebody help me, please. Hello, yes, 911, the crazy bitch is back. Let me. Your ass better get them scuffs off your motherfucker. But fuck the goddamn car, but this shit ain't in my name. Fuck the car. Hey, why the bitch throwing me like that though? Gotta make sure she ain't in my rear view, y'all. She'll try to run me off the road. Bitch pull up. I ain't think she was gonna pull up. I'm running. Running like a bitch. Cause if I knock her ass out, she gonna look up and call the police. Yeah. 12. Not calling me. Hey, look, y'all. So when she I'm gonna tell y'all what happened, right? So she texted me this morning. She said, bitch, you shot up my house last night. My kids was in here. I'm going to the police. Whoa, bring that shit back a second, baby girl. How the fuck somebody shoot up your house last night and you just not going to the police this morning?
Investigators were here at the Motel 6 all morning looking into the death of 22-year-old David Edens Jr. Take a look behind me here. You can see the two rooms where they were focusing their investigation. They're the ones on the end there with the windows that have been knocked out. We saw forensic teams sweeping those areas with flashlights and taking lots of pictures. But this all started at 10:30 last night. It was originally a call for a burglary that Greenville County Sheriff's Office responded to. When they got here, though, that's when they found the body of 22-year-old David Edens Jr. Here's a look at the scene from just earlier this morning. This was around 1 o'clock. The coroner says that the victim did have a wound, but he did not say what kind of wound that was. We're expecting to hear some more details on the manner of death in this case a little later today because
in the quiet November evening in Greenville, South Carolina, a young man sought refuge from a storm of personal turmoil. On November 19, 2019, David Edens Jr., a 22-year-old father, checked into a modest Motel 6 on Wade Hampton Boulevard, hoping for a moment of calm after another heated dispute. He craved solitude, a chance to reflect and regroup. But that night, his search for peace ended in tragedy. A broken window, a piercing scream, and a single gunshot shattered the stillness, leaving David lifeless. The person accused of his murder wasn't a random assailant, but the mother of his daughter, Kodesha Bryson. This chilling true crime story unravels a tale of love turned toxic, a fatal confrontation, and a family left grappling with loss, raising haunting questions about intent, justice, and the devastating cost of domestic conflict. David Edens Jr. was more than a name in a tragic headline. To his family, he was a beacon of warmth, a young man whose quiet strength left an indelible mark. Born and raised in South Carolina, David grew up enveloped by a tight-knit family that cherished his gentle spirit. At 22, he was reserved yet impactful, the kind of person who didn't seek the spotlight but touched lives with his kindness. His father often spoke of him as a dependable son, mature beyond his years, with a heart that never lost its tenderness despite life's challenges. Above all, David was a father, a role that defined him. He had a son from a previous relationship and a toddler daughter, whose birth with Kodesha Bryson gave him a renewed sense of purpose. Fatherhood anchored him, fueling his determination to provide and be present. You could see his joy when he spoke about his kids, a family member recalled. His eyes lit up, like they were his reason for everything. David wasn't flawless, as no young parent is, but his effort was undeniable. He took on odd jobs, showed up consistently, and poured love into his children's lives. His social media offered glimpses into his soul. Amid music snippets and humor, David shared reflections on life's struggles, posts about toxic relationships, the exhaustion of conflict, and a yearning for tranquility. Yet there were also moments of pride, candid photos of him cradling his daughter, his smile radiating a father's love. These posts painted a picture of a man wrestling with personal burdens while clinging to hope for a better future. As a young black man in America, David carried unseen weights, societal expectations, financial pressures, and the challenge of maintaining harmony in a volatile relationship. He steered clear of trouble, avoiding drugs, gangs, or reckless behavior. His life revolved around his family, his children, and his aspirations. He wasn't chasing fame or wealth, just stability and the chance to see his kids grow. Yet his decision to seek a brief respite at a motel would cost him everything, leaving his loved ones to mourn a future stolen too soon. The tragedy that claimed David's life began years earlier, rooted in a complex bond with Kodesha Bryson. Their story started with promise, a connection forged by shared dreams and the realities of young adulthood. Kodesha, in her mid-20s when they met, was a mother of two, navigating the relentless demands of parenthood. Her life was a juggling act, financial strain, emotional stress, and the weight of raising children with limited resources. Friends described her as resilient, piecing together income from odd jobs and relying on family support. David, barely out of his teens, brought a quiet stability to Kodesha's world. His soft-spoken nature and family values drew her in, bridging their age gap and differing life stages. Their relationship deepened quickly, solidified by the birth of their daughter. To those around them, they seemed an unlikely pair, David just starting his journey and Kodesha already stretched thin by motherhood. But their love, however imperfect, was genuine, and their shared child bound them in ways neither could easily unravel. Yet, their bond was fraught with tension. Arguments erupted often, fueled by mistrust and unmet expectations. Friends noticed the volatility. One day, the couple was inseparable. The next, they were estranged. Whispers of infidelity and control issues swirled, with silences giving way to explosive disputes. Despite the strain, they repeatedly reconciled, drawn back by their daughter and a stubborn hope that things could improve. David's commitment to fatherhood kept him tethered to Kodesha, even as their relationship faltered. He wanted to be there for his little girl, a close friend said. Even when things got bad with Kodesha, he stayed for her. His social media hinted at the toll, with posts about emotional drain and the need for peace. Kodesha, more private online, confided in those close to her about frustrations, feeling that David's youth made him unreliable. Whether fair or not, these perceptions widened the rift between them. Kodesha's life as a mother of three, two from prior relationships and one with David, was a constant balancing act. She craved consistency, but the pressures of her circumstances often overwhelmed her. Some saw her as fiercely protective, others as quick-tempered, her warmth undercut by a volatile edge. For David, who internalized stress, navigating her intensity was exhausting. Yet he persisted, driven by love for his daughter and a belief that co-parenting could work, even if romance didn't. Their relationship was a cycle of breakups and reunions, each attempt at peace undermined by unresolved resentments. Neither fully walked away, clinging to the possibility of change. David's hope, rooted in his old soul wisdom, kept him trying, while Kodesha's complex emotions, love, stress, and perhaps fear of losing control, kept her tethered. From the outside, their bond teetered on collapse, a fragile connection held together by a child and fleeting moments of unity with danger lurking beneath the surface. November 19, 2019, dawned unremarkably in Greenville, a city humming with routine. By evening, however, a family's world would shatter. David, emotionally weary from another clash with Kodesha, sought solace at a Motel 6 on Wade Hampton Boulevard. The budget hotel, nestled along a busy thoroughfare, was a place for weary travelers and those needing a brief escape. For David, it was a sanctuary, a chance to pause and breathe. Alone in his room, David likely hoped for clarity amid the chaos of his relationship. Some said he needed space. Others believed the argument's intensity drove him to seek distance. Whatever the reason, his decision to check in marked a desperate bid for calm. But that calm was short-lived. Sometime that evening, Kodesha discovered his whereabouts. How she found him, whether through a tip or her own efforts, remains unclear, but her arrival at the motel set the stage for tragedy. Witnesses later told police that Kodesha appeared outside David's room in a frenzied state, pounding on the door and shouting. Her anger culminated in a shattering act. She broke the window, gaining entry to the room. What unfolded next is known only to David and Kodesha, but the outcome was devastating. A confrontation erupted, filled with raised voices and, possibly, a physical struggle. Then a single gunshot rang out, piercing David's chest. First responders arrived swiftly, but David was beyond saving. The young father, who had sought only a moment's peace, was pronounced dead at the scene. Kodesha had vanished, leaving behind a scene of violence and heartbreak. The coroner's report confirmed the cause: a gunshot wound to the chest, a wound that ended a life and altered countless others. In mere moments, a private struggle became a public tragedy, thrusting David's death into the glare of headlines and leaving a community reeling. Questions swirled in the aftermath. Why did Kodesha bring a gun? Was the shooting premeditated or a spontaneous act of rage? Did she seek confrontation or resolution? These uncertainties fueled speculation, but the stark reality remained. David was gone, his daughter was fatherless, and his family was left to mourn a senseless loss. By the morning of November 20th, 2019, the Greenville County Sheriff's Office faced a grim reality. David Edens Jr. was dead, and the suspect, his ex-partner and co-parent, was at large. Kodesha Bryson had fled the motel, but investigators moved with precision. Witnesses identified her, David's family confirmed her involvement, and police quickly named her the prime suspect. A public statement announced her as the alleged shooter. Her image splashed across local news and social media, intensifying the search. Kodesha's flight was brief. Later that day, she surrendered to authorities, walking into custody without resistance. The woman who had stormed the motel in fury now faced the weight of her actions in silence. Booked into the Greenville County Detention Center, she was charged with 3 counts: murder, possession of a weapon during a violent crime, and malicious damage to property for the broken window. The charges, outlined in a terse press release, belied the human toll. A young life ended, a family broken, a child orphaned. Kodesha's bond hearing, held November 21st, was a tense affair. The courtroom brimmed with emotion, David's family on one side, their grief palpable, and Kodesha on the other, clad in a jumpsuit, her eyes swollen from tears. Facing David's loved ones, she spoke words that echoed with regret. "I love you all. I'm so sorry. The gun went off accidentally. He was a wonderful father."
We just want to know why. He left his kids, he left his family. The rest is around the holidays. And we just want to know why. He's a good father, good family person, good outgoing person. The question is just why.
No, I want any commentary directed at me. So he directed Kirk's commentary to me. So if you have anything to say, you can say it, be respectful. I said directed.
I apologize. My intention was to never hurt him. I never tried to. Okay. I'm sorry, Michaela. I'm sorry. Mary, I'm sorry. Alicia, Misha, I love y'all. I'm sorry that went my attention. The gun went off. I would never try to hurt him. He's a great man. I'm sorry, Mary.
All right. Did you have any questions about
Her apology, raw and tearful, offered no solace to a family mourning an irreplaceable loss. She insisted the shooting was unintentional, but the presence of the gun and her actions spoke louder. The judge, weighing the evidence, a fatal shooting, a suspect who fled, and a grieving family, denied bond. The decision was unequivocal, reflecting the gravity of the charges and the incident's brutality. Kodesha would remain behind bars, her fate tied to a legal process that promised justice but delivered delays. Her admission of involvement ended speculation about her role, but her claim of an accidental discharge left the question of intent unresolved, setting the stage for a protracted legal battle. Outside the courtroom, David's family bore their pain with dignity, though their anguish was undeniable. In statements to the press, they portrayed David as a devoted father and respectful son, a man whose life was cut short for no justifiable reason. Kodesha, after her emotional outburst, retreated into silence, her future now in the hands of a slow-moving judicial system. David Edens Jr.'s death left a void that extended far beyond the motel room. His family didn't just lose a son, they lost a future filled with his laughter, his presence, and his love. From the moment police delivered the news, their world shifted into one of perpetual mourning. Birthdays became somber tributes, holidays a reminder of absence, and a toddler daughter grew up asking why her father wasn't there. David's father, a pillar of strength amid heartbreak, has spoken publicly about the family's loss. His words carry the weight of a parent's grief, tempered by a resolve to honor his son's memory.
And was crying and told me something had happened to my son. She called back, said he had been shot.
She shot and killed him.
They just didn't do right together.
He says the two used to be in a relationship and have a daughter.
He's a good father and everything. He's a good dude.
No one comes out ahead in this, he said, reflecting on the tragedy's toll. His deepest concern is for David's children, particularly the daughter left without both parents, caught in a web of loss and unanswered questions. The family remembers David for his life, not his death. They recall a soft-spoken young man, fiercely loyal to his family and devoted to his children. He didn't stir up trouble, a relative said. He worked hard, loved deeply, and just wanted peace. This absence of malice in David's life makes his violent end all the more incomprehensible. He wasn't entangled in crime or danger. He was a father striving to do right in a challenging relationship. David's two children, his son and daughter, face a future without his guidance. They'll grow up with stories of a father who adored them, who stayed up nights planning their futures, who never failed to express his love. The family has shielded them from the tragedy's harshest details, stepping into roles as guardians and storytellers. Yet the pain in their eyes betrays the weight of their loss, a wound deepened by the lack of closure. Beneath their grief simmers frustration. 5 years after David's death, as of May 2025, Kodesha Bryson has yet to face trial. Court backlogs and legal maneuvers have stalled the case, leaving the family in limbo. They seek updates, but months pass without progress, each delay reopening their wounds. "We're still waiting for justice," David's father said, his voice tinged with quiet rage. The absence of a verdict prolongs their agony, a reminder that David's killer has not been fully held to account. The murder of David Edens Jr. raises profound questions about intent and accountability. Kodesha's claim that the gun discharged accidentally clashes with the reality of her actions, bringing a weapon, breaking into the room, and fleeing the scene. Was the shooting a tragic mistake or the culmination of a toxic relationship spiraling toward violence? The truth remains locked in a courtroom that has yet to convene, leaving investigators, the family, and the community to grapple with uncertainty. The case also shines a light on broader issues. Domestic violence, often hidden behind closed doors, can escalate with devastating consequences. David's social media posts about toxicity and Kodesha's reported frustrations suggest a relationship fraught with warning signs. Yet no intervention halted their descent, highlighting gaps in support systems for couples in crisis. The presence of a gun, wielded in a moment of rage, underscores the lethal risks of unchecked emotions and easy access to weapons. Greenville, like many cities, faces its share of violent crime, but David's death stood out for its intimacy. He wasn't a victim of street violence, but of a personal betrayal, killed by someone who once shared his life. This personal nature amplifies the tragedy, making it a cautionary tale about the dangers lurking in strained relationships. David Edens Jr.'s story is one of love, resilience, and heartbreaking loss. His dedication to his children endures in the memories his family preserves, ensuring his daughter and son know the father who cherished them. His death, though senseless, has sparked conversations about domestic violence prevention, urging communities to recognize red flags and intervene before conflicts turn deadly. The Edens family continues to navigate their grief, holding fast to David's legacy while awaiting justice. Their strength in the face of delays is a testament to their love for him, a love that transcends his absence. As they wait, they hope for a resolution that honors David's memory and provides closure for his children. David Edens Jr. didn't die in a distant conflict or a random act. He was killed by someone who once shared his life, a betrayal that cuts deep. His story asks whether this was a tragic accident or the culmination of a relationship doomed by toxicity. 5 years on, the answer lies in a courtroom that has yet to deliver justice, leaving a family to wait and a community to reflect on the cost of inaction. If David's story has touched you, join us in keeping his memory alive. Like, subscribe, and activate notifications for more true crime stories that uncover the human toll behind the headlines. We share new cases weekly, shedding light on lives lost and lessons learned. Stay with us as we honor those whose stories demand to be told.